So, OnePlus 9 is just around the corner. But how good is OnePlus 8 Pro, a 2020 flagship made by OnePlus themselves? So, should you wait for OnePlus 9 or should you go for OnePlus 8 Pro right now? Now, this is my first video of this year, so let's get started. So, the company OnePlus has been transitioning from a flagship killer to a full-fledged flagship. Now, I would have loved OnePlus to be a flagship killer, but the company decided not to be, and I think in long term this will not benefit OnePlus as much as it benefited it from being a flagship killer. So we'll have to check out that later. But talking about the phone, this phone has a 6.78-inch Fluid AMOLED display with HDR10 Plus certification and QHD Plus resolution, 120Hz, and 10-bit colors. So along with that, this phone also has 513 ppi and 1300 nits of peak brightness. Now, the deal is 1300 nits of peak brightness might not be that good as advertised. When I used this phone in direct sunlight, the phone was bright, of course, but was not around the level of 1300 nits. So that's that. So besides all that, I have to say the phone has an absolutely stunning, sharp and excellently optimized display. Now talking about the design, here I have glacial green OnePlus 8 Pro with matte AG glass design as claimed by OnePlus, no questions there, but this design is what it gives the premium feel and premium look. Now this phone is not light, it's 199 grams, but I was really shocked when I catch this phone. It did not feel like 199 grams. Now the phone has a really nice and light weight to it, so I love that, which is really good. And also has IP68 rating, so water and dust won't do much to this phone. This phone has SIM card tray, USB Type-C, stereo speakers at the bottom, alert slider along with power button at the side, volume rocker at the side, and microphone at the top. Now, the stereo speakers, as expected, sound really amazing. You can hear it for yourself.
My mind is breathing in. Breakout, I've got to see. Spent all my life home.
Now, talking about the software, this phone runs on Android 10 with Oxygen OS 11. Now, this phone will get Android 11 too, so no worries on that. Now, Oxygen OS 11. This Oxygen OS 11 skin has a really close to stock Android experience, so no worries on that, and it does not have any out of the box or extraordinary feature, but rather is very simple and user friendly. This phone is powered by Snapdragon's 8 series, Snapdragon 865, and you know what? Microtech is powered by its subscribers. So if you are enjoying this content, a sub to the channel would be 1+ to my count. Just subscribe to the channel. Now, talking about the chip, this chip is very good as expected by Snapdragon's 8 series, and in my test when I played games at early stage of gaming, this phone's temperature was very well balanced. So that's that. Now talking about the chip again, this phone can play all the games at very high settings. I played many top leading games at ultra frame rates with ultra settings, and I have to say the performance was absolutely smooth like butter, and I had no complaints there. Now this phone comes in 3 variants, which is 8128, 8256 and 12256. So this phone does not have expandable storage. You can do what you can with the storage you have there. So that's that. Now the chip's performance along with its software is very well optimized, so gaming is really good and other multitasking is also very great in this phone. Now talking about the battery, this phone has a 4510 mAh battery. Now here's the deal. The phone, along with its fast charging and very high-end specs, drains the battery really quickly. like not that quick, but for a flagship level, really quickly. Now, the thing is that companies are putting very high watt chargers in their devices. Now, that's nothing wrong. That's nothing wrong, seriously. But the faster you charge your phone, the faster it loses its battery percentage. So, if you want that brief explanation, comment down below. I'll make a video on that. So, that's one reason. Plus, the specs such as 120Hz and Quad HD Plus display drains the battery really fast. So, it gives screen on time of about 5 hours, 5 hours 30 minutes, sometimes 6 hours, but that's the max it can get to. Now, this phone also has a 30-watt wireless charging, which is a big deal, but nobody would pay $70 for a fan that makes noise and is not that comfortable because it's really bulky looking. So that's that. And this phone also has 3-watt wireless charging. Now, this phone also has other features such as LPDDR5 along with UFS 3.0 storage and Bluetooth 5.1 and USB 3.1 on the go. Now, while installing apps, I found that this phone installs the apps and downloads the apps really fast. So I think this is because of the specs such as LPDDR5 and USB 3.0. So I might be wrong. So that's that. Now, the other reason or other feature of this phone is 5G. Now, the thing is 5G is not that spread out in other countries and many parts of the world. So 5G might not be the reason for you to buy this phone, but a thing you can consider while buying this phone. Now, the camera bump in this phone is really huge, but I think this camera bump is justified. Now, OnePlus has stepped up their camera game in this device and has a quad-core camera setup. The main sensor being 48 megapixel Sony IMX689. Now, this sensor is a really big sensor, so that causes the bump to be that big. And it also has optical image stabilization with laser autofocus. Not only that, this phone has a 48 megapixel ultra-wide Sony IMX586 sensor, which I have to say, both the sensors are very top tier and also click very top tier photos. Along with that, this phone has a 13 megapixel telephoto 3x zoom camera, and after the software update, the photochrome 5 megapixel camera is basically a gimmick. So the photos and videos are really good, and the front camera is of 16 megapixel, which is not the best you can get, but not the worst you can get. So that's that. You can look for the photos yourself. Now, should you wait for OnePlus 9? Honestly, no, but there are two things to consider here. Now, firstly, the phone has an absolutely amazing SDR10 Plus certified 10-bit color display, which is rumored to be same or on that level of similarity in OnePlus 9 too, so there's no difference at all. Secondly, the phone's chip, it has a Snapdragon 865 chip, and OnePlus 9 is rumored to have Snapdragon 888 chip. Now the deal is 888 is better than Snapdragon 865, but there's nothing Snapdragon 865 can't do that Snapdragon 888 can do. So there's basically nothing new in the new, or let's say basic day-to-day life work. So the chip is really good, and I think it's really overkill currently. Now talking about the camera, the phone has a very A+ quality camera, and I think this camera is plenty enough for anything. OnePlus 9 Pro is rumored to have triple rear camera, so we have to check out that later, but this camera currently is plenty enough. Now in the battery section, I think the battery of OnePlus 9 will be slightly bigger, but the size is not leaked, or let's say not known currently. but it'll be a little bit bigger than OnePlus 8 Pros. Now, second thing is I think you should wait for OnePlus 9 to arrive. Now, nothing on OnePlus 8 Pro, but currently the OnePlus 8 Pro costs $699 or even $600 if you can get it somewhere brand new, actually, not secondhand. Brand new for $600. And OnePlus 9 is rumored to be about $900. So, as soon as OnePlus 9 launches, I think the price of OnePlus 8 Pro will decrease by $100 or even $50, so you can get it for $550 or even less than that. So that's that. You don't need to wait for OnePlus 9. And I think we have reached the end of this video. So if you like the content, a like to the channel would be very appreciated. And if you want to see such more content, subscribe to the channel Microtech. Peace out.